So I am here with my new friend, Sue, who I met at the library of 90th and Dodge. And she's just going to share whatever's on her heart about how we met, the encounter we had. What was it, about a week ago? Or
Yes, it will be on Tuesday.
Yes. And
Last Tuesday.
Yes. So go ahead and tell us your encounter with the Holy Spirit.
I call them the godly moments. Actually, I've not been at the library for almost like close to 4 months. But on last Tuesday, I went to the library because I had some paperwork I wanted to finish. And somehow, I had misplaced my memory stick. I was meant to have gone, but I kept going around circles, and my aunt was also at the library doing some stuff. And then she also thought that I'd already left. So when I went back to tell her that I was about to leave, I met her talking to Pastor Ashley, and that's when she said, "Come over here and listen. Come hear about this." So my aunt told me about the part of your word, which I'm sure she's going to give a word of herself. But for my part, my aunt explained that Pastor Ashley has a word for me, and she went on to explain how God had given a word that I had back pain, and just kind of that just because it was my first time to see her. I've never seen you in my life.
Yes.
And it's something that I've been struggling with for close to a year, but not just a back pain, but chronic back pain that on Monday I was at the hospital, and apparently there's a possibility that I was supposed to be having a schedule, but these past 2 days I have been angry with God, like why am I having so much pain? Why I'm in this situation? But when that word came, it just hit the soft spot, because on that Tuesday was just one of the least, I think the day that I kind of sat in the library for good of 2 hours without feeling any backache. So Pastor Ashley came and she told me more stuff about myself. The other part that she told me about how God is calling me, that I have a calling for the poor, and that just hit the spot, because that's something that I not even told you the stuff that I'm passionate about. So it's I don't know if I should say God is unpacking and using. Oftentimes we think we can hear from God when we go to church, when a pastor is standing at a pulpit, and surprisingly, when I ask her what's your name, and she said, I'm a pastor. You often think, pastors only wants to give words when they're in church, and then when they're outside the church, you hardly. But I think she has got a unique calling and ministry that I think Jesus heard, that Jesus went to the people.
Yes.
They went out and give word to the people, and that kind of touched my heart, that a lot of people, even myself, because I was in that desperate situation, I wanted to hear from God so bad. I remember we went to the library and we were looking for a place where we could pray. I wanted it so bad. I don't know if anybody could understand being in a crucial pain and having to hear somebody who have never met you getting a word for you. So they told us the room was not available for us to go pray, but we went and sat in the car and we prayed. But beyond that, there's so much humbleness that I kind of felt like, who does that? Somebody who just say, oh, God gave me a word about you, about this, and they walk away. And it was cold. Pastor Ashley came sat down, and that when I see her, when I look back and look the person she is, she reminds me the love of Christ. She saved the least. She didn't have to say, let's go sit on a leather couch or come to my office. No. She ministered to me there was no excuse. She didn't give any excuse like we have to make an appointment or this is it. So that's just that part. It's just like, it's just not a miracle of me wanting a healing part of me, but it's also a healing journey to the things that I think they are of Christ, that reminds me that sometimes we wait to say, oh, I want to see an angel, flying angels with wings, like God speaks. Sometimes we wait to see God speaking in a big microphone through a pastor. But to me, I had goosebumps, like God spoke so, it was just those few words, but to me, they were like a huge thing to me, because that's something that I've been struggling with for months. So I just want to thank Pastor Ashley, and I hope that for those who don't believe that miracles are there, miracles are happening, that God is speaking and God is still speaking. And sometimes the areas or the places where we go and try to find that this is where you think God is speaking to me might not be the common place where God is speaking. And I also want to say, I think most likely that I've encountered in situations where God will speak to me, but I will despise the word, because I always feel like, oh, I'm in a grocery store, this wouldn't be God. But from experience, just when Pastor Ashley started sharing, I was very quick to tap into that, because I knew this was from God. Thank you.
Thank you.
But I think